Hello, what's up friends? How's it going? Just out and about in this late afternoon while the sun's still up. It's 72 degrees. My goodness, it's the first week of January and it's still comfortable, but colder temps are on their way. Anyways, just wanted to talk about something I posted on my Facebook channel. I don't know if any of you have stopped by that channel. I think I have like 14 people in there or something. But I usually post all motorcycle related stuff, any articles I come across that are interesting. And recently I posted one about from Cycle World. They did a pretty extensive article on beginner bikes, or starter bike. I think they call them beginner bikes. And you know, what bikes are good for, you know, people to start out on, you know, get a small CC engine. You know, they're more forgiving, they're lighter, they're not as powerful, can't get in trouble with them as much, all that good stuff. And so I just posted the article on my Facebook channel and just asked the question, you know, basically, what are your thoughts on this? And it was very interesting. I had a lot of responses. A lot of people got involved in that question. I posted it in different groups as well as my own channel. And it seemed probably about 60 to 70, or even closer to 70%, I guess 75% of the people felt that a starter bike or beginner bike was the way to go. And my opinion, like some others that commented, I really think it depends on two main things. One is the rider. What kind of person are they? What kind of experience do they have in their background, like riding motorcycles or riding bicycles or any of that stuff? And you know, are they risk takers? Are they kind of young, crazy, and driven by ego and all that good stuff? You know, those people tend to get themselves in trouble if you're riding on ego and trying to impress your friends that are better riders than you or something like that, and you end up wheeling off, you know, into the trees or going around a corner way too fast and don't know how to take it and go veering off, you know, into the woods or something. So I think it really depends on the person and the bike. In my personal life, what I did was I did have a 450cc Yamaha many years ago. I think it was called a SX400 or 450, or I think it was a 400 maybe. And I had that for, I think, 1 or 2 years. You know, I was young. I was probably like 19, 20 years old or something like that. And tooled around on that. So I did have some experience, but, you know, I ended up taking off, you know, 30 plus years between. So I consider myself a new rider. I mean, you know, for all intents and purposes. So I got a bike that I wanted. My bike that I wanted was this bike. I actually did look at Sport Glide. Was the first Harley Sport Glide was the first thing I looked at, and then, you know, basically for the price, I was going to get this bike a lot cheaper. I got a good deal on it, and it has, you know, way more technology. And I don't want to bash on the Sport Glide. Sport Glide is a cool looking bike, but it was just a financial thing for me, and kind of get what you pay for type thing. With, you know, I'm paying this and I'm getting a whole lot more bike in terms of technology and all that. Anyways, but I'm an older rider. I'm very cautious and defensive. I'm not doing wheelies. I'm not screaming around the twisties. And the first thing I did was I just rode around my neighborhood for quite a few days, just getting used to the clutch, the friction zone. Prior to that, I just watched a ton of videos, you know, for safety things and top 10 things to know for new riders. And so I watched like people like MC Rider and Moto Jitsu and gosh, there was quite a few, but those are the two that kind of stuck out that I watched quite a bit. And so that kind of got me prepared in my mind anyways, what I need to look out for, how I should be doing things, what to be careful of, don't get in bad habits, etc. So I rode around the neighborhood, I don't know, for a while before I ventured off into the twisties or highway or long haul, like, you know, 2-3 hours away from the house type riding. So I took it incremental steps. This bike is a 250cc, 534 pounds. It's heavy for a sport bike, but not, compared to a cruiser that's, 800, 900 pounds. Seat height is not bad. It's, I think, about 32 inches. I can flat foot it with these boots on. Whereas the cruiser, I would definitely be flat footed and probably have bent knees and be a lot lower to the ground. The unique thing about this bike, though, is it has the Boxer engine, which was pointed out by some of the comments here talking about the BMW GS, which has the same engine as this. Excuse me, burped. The Boxer engine sits very low on the bike, so the center of gravity is very low, and it makes the bike very nimble when you're riding it, and feel a lot lighter than it is compared to a bike that's got a V-twin or a different configuration that's higher up. And then you get the kind of top heavy. Oh, a squirrel almost jumped out in front of me. Then you get the kind of top heavy feel, and that's not good, especially when you're going 0 to 10 miles an hour. Top heavy bikes are kind of precarious. If you're kind of a risk taker, you're the only one that's going to kind of know that, or maybe your friends could help you out and say, hey, just buy a 300cc or 500cc or something less. Tool around on it. You're going to get bored. That's my whole thing. Is I didn't want to buy a starter bike to kind of cruise around on and get used to riding, and then 6 months, 5 months, 4 months down the road, I'd be like, God, I'm so bored with this bike. I got to get, I wanted the bike I really want, and now you got to sell that bike. And even starter bikes, if you're going to buy a new one, they're going to be $5,000 or more. So I mean, they're not going to be cheap. If you're going to go starter route, I would definitely buy a used one. So if you drop it and bang it up or whatever, you're not going to care as much. But for me, I bought the bike I wanted, which happened to be this one, and I just took my time to get to know the bike, get to know my abilities on the bike, come over and conquer some fears. Like when I first had it, the first time I rode on the freeway, that was pretty scary for me because I had never done that before. And it wasn't so much the speed, it was just the wind, the gust of wind that would come and push me around. And you gotta, as some of my friends say, you gotta dance with the wind. And now it's not a problem, you just you get used to it. But that's those things, baby steps. So I think it really, again, depends on the person and what kind of bike they're looking to get. That's my 2 cents of that. So let me know in the comments below what you think about starter bikes or beginner bikes, if people need them, or should they just go for the bike they really want. I'm going to be doing a kind of probably a 20 tips video, like tips for new riders. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your tips. I know there's a few of my friends that do watch this channel that are much more experienced than me. What are your tips? Top 3, whatever, for new riders that other than wearing gear and kind of the standard ones. Are there any that you have picked up throughout your lifetime of riding that were never taught to you? You kind of picked it up yourself? Or anyways, let me know in the comments below. And if it's not on my list already, I will definitely put it there and give you credit for it. you.